Forge, a historic stand coming into the third evening requiring 282 to win. South Africa were reeling at 70 for 2 when two warriors stood tall. Aiden Markram, with composure carved from stone, and Captain Temba Bavuma, battling a painful hamstring injury, constructed an unbroken partnership of 143 runs that shifted the narrative decisively in South Africa's favor. With Bavuma limping between the wickets and Markram threading elegant boundaries through gaps, the Proteas exuded calm authority. Markram's century, his 8th in Test cricket, came off 156 balls and was a statement of intent, finesse, and grit. The Australian bowlers tried everything: short balls, spin, reverse swing, but nothing rattled the South African duo. The day ended with South Africa on 213-2, just 69 runs away from their destiny. Day 4. Glory at last. South Africa, seal the deal. Tensions were high on the fourth morning. The ghosts of past heartbreaks loomed large. Could South Africa hold their nerve? Bavuma fell early to a lifting delivery from Pat Cummins, and Stubbs followed soon after, brilliantly undone by Mitchell Starc. Suddenly, the chase felt steep again, but Markram remained unmoved, unfazed, undeterred. Alongside Kyle Verreynne and David Bedingham, he soaked up the pressure, played the angles, and ticked off the runs. When Markram finally departed for a glorious 136, 207 balls, 14 fours, with only 6 needed, he had already immortalized himself. The winning moment came via Verreynne, who drove a full toss from Starc through the covers. The crowd erupted, teammates rushed the field. And after 27 years of near misses, South Africa had a global ICC trophy that truly mattered. Match summary: Australia 212 and 207, South Africa 138 and 282 BR5. Markram 136, Bavuma 66, Starc 3-66. South Africa won by 5 wickets, moments that defined the final Markram's redemption arc. From a duck in the first innings to a match-winning 136, this was Markram's career-defining performance. Bavuma's grit under duress. Injured but unbowed, the skipper's 66 in the second innings provided stability and leadership when it mattered most. Rabada's fiery spell. With match figures of 9 wickets, Kagiso Rabada's aggression and precision set the tone, especially in Australia's collapse from 73-3 to 73-7 in their second innings. Australia's missed chances. Stephen Smith dropping Bavuma on 2, and their reviews burnt wastefully, exposed cracks in Australia's pressure management. Verreynne's composed finish. Amid the frenzy, his calm presence helped navigate the final few runs with mature temperament. Celebrations. A nation rejoices with the final runs scored, tears flowed freely, on the field and in South African homes. Bavuma lifted the mace with his son in his arms, dancing erupted on the Lord's outfield, and chants of "O Temba Bavuma" echoed across the stands. The unity, joy, and release were palpable. This wasn't just a cricket match. It was a national resurrection. "We've been relentless, getting to the doorstep consistently and experiencing heartache. This is for the people back home," said Bavuma. "It's the most special day of my career," added Markram. "Lords is every cricketer's dream. To win here in a final for South Africa is everything." Significance of the win ends 27-year drought since their last ICC title, 1998 knockout trophy. Breaks the choker's tag that has haunted them through countless semifinals and finals. Validates the next generation with players like Markram, Verreynne, Bedingham, and Ngidi stepping up. Sends a powerful message about the health and strength of Test cricket outside the Big Three. Australia, fallen giants, questions loom. Pat Cummins admitted, "Few things we didn't do right. Didn't bat the opposition out after a decent lead. But South Africa didn't give us a chance in the fourth innings. For a side that had dominated the early stages, Australia will rue their middle-order failures and dropped catches. Their campaign ends with introspection." Final words. South Africa's triumph in the 2025 World Test Championship final at Lord AS is more than a victory. It's a redemption story, a dream fulfilled, and a symbol of a nation's resilience and rise. Aiden Markram now walks with the legends. Temba Bavuma joins Graeme Smith, Sean Pollock, and A.B. de Villiers in the Pantheon. Rabada's fire, Bavuma's fortitude, and Markram's flair have stitched together the most glorious chapter in South African cricket. From heartbreak to history, the Proteas have finally arrived.
Did you know that the Titanic was never meant to be the world's fastest ship? Yet its tale has raced through history, captivating millions worldwide. Today, we delve into the fateful journey of this behemoth of the sea, a journey that ended in one of the most infamous maritime disasters ever. Our story begins in the early 20th century. The year is 1910, and the Titanic is just a blueprint in the minds of the illustrious designers at Harland and Wolff shipyard in Belfast. This wasn't just an ordinary blueprint, but a design for a ship that would be the epitome of luxury. Over the next 2 years, this blueprint began to materialize into existence. The Titanic was crafted from over 3 million rivets and approximately 30,000 tons of steel. The ship's mammoth hull was the largest moving man-made structure of its time, truly a marvel of engineering. The workforce was comprised of a staggering 15,000 men, who toiled day and night, braving hazardous conditions. The tremendous feat of constructing this Titan took around 26 months to complete, a testament to the dedication and hard work of the workforce at the shipyard. Today, we explore the journey of this colossal ship from being a mere blueprint to a legend in maritime history. Fast forward to April 10th, 1912. The Titanic, now the largest moving object ever constructed by human hands, embarks on its maiden journey from Southampton, England, to New York City. On board are over 2,200 individuals, a diverse mixture of both privileged and underprivileged, originating from various backgrounds and cultures. Among them are wealthy aristocrats seeking the thrill of a new adventure, immigrants filled aspirations for a better life in the land of opportunities, and hard-working crew members, all endeavoring to ensure a successful voyage. Each passenger, each soul aboard this magnificent vessel, carries with them a unique story, dreams and hopes for their journey across the vast Atlantic. As the Titanic majestically traverses the vast expanse of the Atlantic, the passengers and crew aboard are entirely unaware of the lurking danger presented by iceberg fields just around the corner. It's a pertinent detail that iceberg warnings had indeed been relayed to the Titanic. These warnings didn't fall from the sky, but were rather sent from nearby ships navigating through identical routes, having caught sight of the impending icy threats. The recipient of these alarming communications was the Titanic's wireless room, a communications hub teeming with experienced operators. Yet, despite the urgency, these warnings were tragically dismissed. The current of dismissiveness was fueled by a blend of arrogance and misplaced confidence in the ship's state-of-the-art design and perceived invincibility. Meanwhile, the Titanic, under the command of its ambitious crew, plows ahead, ironically, the very speed it prided in serving as the hand that seals its doom. For in the cold, dark night of the Atlantic, a monstrous iceberg waits, prepared to bring this symbol of human achievement to its watery grave. On the fateful night of April 14, 1912, precisely at 11:40 p.m., the reputed unsinkable ship, the Titanic, confronts an immovable behemoth. An iceberg, shrouded in the pitch darkness of the North Atlantic, violently rips into the Titanic's steel hull. The iceberg's jagged underbelly slashes open the ship's side, rupturing 5 of its supposedly watertight compartments. This catastrophic damage, far beyond what the ship was designed to withstand, starts an irreversible sinking process. In the immediate aftermath of the collision, a wave of panic and disbelief sweeps through the ship. The crew members hastily scramble to assess the damage, their faces etched with as they realize the grave consequence of the encounter. Simultaneously, the passengers, roused from their slumbers, emerge from their cabins bewildered and shaken. They share anxious glances, their festive atmosphere abruptly replaced with a chilling sense of impending doom. In less than 3 hours, the Titanic, once a beacon of man's victory over nature, tragically yields to the icy, unforgiving waters. The sinking of the Titanic is a tale steeped in human ambition and nature's might, a narrative of dreams shattered and lives lost. It serves as a stark reminder of our vulnerability and the power of the elements that surround us. We embarked on a journey that started from the conception of the Titanic in the year 1910, through its meticulous construction and grand launch, to its tragic end in the icy waters of the North Atlantic. We delved into the events leading to the disaster, the colossal iceberg collision, and the subsequent sinking of the majestic ship. But the Titanic's story goes beyond a simple tale of human hubris and the indomitable power of nature. It's a stark reminder of the lessons we've learned, torn from the pages of maritime history. The Titanic disaster was a turning point, a catalyst for change in maritime safety regulations. Its sinking immediately provoked a sea change in global attitudes towards maritime safety. In the aftermath, the International Convention for the Safety of Life at Sea, SOLAS, was established, fostering improvements in safety provisions for ships, including the mandatory use of radio for distress signals and the provision of enough lifeboats for all passengers. The story of the Titanic also had a profound impact on public perception of technology. It shattered the illusion of an unsinkable ship, revealing the stark reality of technological fallibility. This disaster served as a wake-up call to engineers and designers worldwide, prompting them to question the infallibility of technology and to reconsider how safety should be integrated into design processes. The Titanic's story, one that continues to captivate us over a century later. It's a tale that reminds us of the transient nature of life and the impermanence of even our most monumental achievements. Amid the vast expanse of history, the Titanic's story may appear as a single thread, but it is a thread that shines brightly. It is a testament to our collective memory, our fascination with the past, and our enduring capacity to learn from our mistakes, making significant strides in safety and changing our approach to technology. As we ponder over the lessons from the depths, we can't help but ask ourselves, what if the Titanic had avoided the iceberg? What if the warnings of icebergs ahead hadn't been ignored? The ship had received numerous iceberg warnings, yet they were not taken seriously. If the crew had heeded these warnings, they could have changed course or reduced speed, and the Titanic might have avoided its tragic fate. But let's say the Titanic still met with the iceberg. Could the tragedy have been averted with better communication and leadership? The ship was unsinkable, or so they thought. This overconfidence may have led to a lack of preparedness, contributing to the disaster. If the crew had been better equipped, trained, and led, could the loss of life have been minimized or avoided? While we can't change the past, we can learn from it to avoid similar tragedies in the future. To ensure that the Titanic's legacy is not in vain, we must remember the lessons it has taught us about hubris, the power of nature, and the importance of preparedness. As we move forward, let us carry these lessons with us, ensuring the Titanic's story continues to echo not as a symbol of disaster, but as a beacon of learning and growth.
Shubman Gill, the flame that rekindled a nation's roar. India crushes England by 337 runs at Edgbaston. At Edgbaston, under skies once dominated by English triumphs, India scripted a thundering statement. Led by a resplendent Shubman Gill and fueled by a fiery deep, India dismantled England by a colossal 337 runs, a result as emphatic as it was historic. This was more than a win. This was India roaring back, not just into the series, but into global contention with a fire unseen since the golden eras of West Indies and Australia. And standing at the very heart of this revival is one man, Shubman Gill. A bat that speaks for a nation. Gill's breathtaking twin efforts, 269 in the first innings and 161 in the second, were innings of legend, not just for their numbers, but for their timing, their class, and their message. He batted with the serenity of, the dominance of Ponting, and the relentless focus of, but with a Gill flair all his own. No Indian captain has ever scored 430 runs in a single test, and no player in the history of the game had ever scored a double century and a 150 in the same match until now. His bat didn't just put runs on the board, it put belief in the dressing room. Bowlers fed off his calm. Fielders surged with energy. Even England looked stunned. Deep, from prospect to phenomenon. With the ball, India didn't just match England, they outclassed them. And leading their bowling charge was the tireless Deep, who ran in like a man born to make history. In the final innings, he claimed a magnificent 6-wicket haul, finishing with match figures of 10 wickets and delivering blows that shattered England's resistance and confidence. His seam movement, aggression, and consistency silenced the Holly stand and announced India's pace depth even in the absence of. He didn't just ball deliveries, he balled daggers wrapped in thunder. India, out-batting, out-balling, outclassing. India out-baseballed baseball on English soil without their best fast bowler, with their young captain playing only his second test in charge. Every line of England's strategy was shredded, outlasted and outscored. India's bowlers outthought and outfoxed. India's gapped and outled and outclassed. By the end, England weren't just beaten, they were buried under a mountain of scoreboard pressure and Indian brilliance. The rise of a new era. Shubman Gill's leadership is no longer a promise. It is now a pillar of a new era, an India team that plays with grace, grit, and utter ruthlessness. The team is united, the dressing room is buzzing, and the fan base is surging with belief again. Gill's appointment as captain may well go down as the single most decisive move in modern Indian cricket, a visionary call that has already begun to reshape destiny. The series comes alive. With the series now level, India heads to Lord's with momentum, confidence, and purpose. The ghosts of collapses past are exorcised. England is shaken. The world is watching. And India, led by a 24-year-old phenomenon, is roaring louder than ever.
And every heartbeat feel the roar. With bat and ball, we're legends born. Colors bright, the picture light. For India, we'll always fight. From Delhi to the coastlines wide, the cheers are loud like ocean's tide. Every swing of hope we chase, victory shines on every face. Shall our India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirit soars, creating hearts forevermore. Spinning dreams like stars at night, swinging beams pure dynamite. Feel the blazing glories flame, every play another name. Unity in every crowd, voices strong and spirits proud. Together we ignite the spark, guided by that inner eye. India rising high, underneath the painted sky. With every chant the spirits soar, creating hearts forevermore. Guided in hearts forevermore.
Cain. The rest of the story, a 10-minute dramatic devotional. Narrative from Cain's perspective. I was the firstborn of humanity. The first to open my eyes outside Eden's gate. The first to cry, not in paradise, but in dust. Adam was strong, Eve luminous with the memory of what they told us stories of walking with God in the cool of the day, of light that clothed them, of fruit that turned sweet to bitter. We lived just east of that garden, but the gate was always shut. My brother Abel chose the pasture gentler work, it seemed to me then. Flaming swords guarded what once was ours. I grew up watching my father till the cursed ground, turning dry earth into bread. I learned to do the same. He was different. Soft-spoken. He listened more than he spoke. He had a way of talking to God like he was near, even though he was not seen. I envied that. When we brought our offerings, I brought fruit from the ground ripe, plentiful. I had worked for it. But Abel, he brought lambs, the firstborn, with blood. My fists clenched and smote. And for reasons I couldn't understand, God accepted his offering. But not mine. It didn't seem fair. I worked harder, longer, but he said nothing. If you do what is right, will you not be accepted? But if not, sin is crouching at your door. Its desire is for you, but you must master it. I left the altar cold and angry. Abel tried to talk with me, but even his concerns sounded like pride. My jaw tightened, and then God spoke. Why are you angry, Cain? Why is your face downcast? But I didn't. I fed it instead. That morning, I called Abel into the field. He followed. He always followed. I don't remember drawing the stone. I don't remember how many blows. Only the silence that followed the way his blood soaked into the ground like spilled wine. His eyes stayed open. Still. Then, God came, not with wrath, not with fire, with a question. Where is your brother? I lied. Am I my brother's keeper? A fugitive? The first man, exiled by his own sin. But the ground had already answered. Your brother's blood cries out to me from the earth. Those words have never left me. He did not strike me down. He could have. He should have. But instead, he marked me. A sign that I would live. A protection against revenge. I became a wanderer. Years passed. I built a city, called it Enoch, after my son, brick by brick. I tried to forget. but you cannot outbuild blood. Every echo of a hammer reminded me of what was lost. Not just Abel, but me. From Adam, from Seth. That one day, another son would come, the man I was supposed to be. Sometimes I would wake in the night, hearing Abel's voice not in anger, but in a sense, a whisper of the past. A ghost of what should have been. My children asked why I never spoke of my brother. I told them the ground remembers, but even there in dust and disgrace he began to feel something strange. Hope. Not loud, not deserved, but persistent. I heard rumors, one whose blood would not cry for justice, but mercy, one who would not take life but give it, a lamb not like Abel's, but greater, perfect. Will his blood reach even me? If you remember me only for the field, remember this too. The same God who judged me, spared me. The same God who heard blood cry out, also covered me with grace. So if you've fallen deeply, shamefully listen. The ground may speak of what you've done, but heaven can speak louder, and his mercy still marks wonders, even the ones who killed their own brother.
Ain't no independence. Separate yourself. Dre rap over minutes for Ubers. Let white bros. Time to liberate your mind, not just like fireworks. Truth bomb. It ain't no independence, fool. Red, white, and bruised. Time to liberate your mind, not just like fireworks. Boom. Truth bomb. Boom. Truth bomb. It ain't no independence, fool. Red, white, and bruised. Time to liberate your mind, not just like fireworks. Boom. Truth bomb. It ain't no independence, fool. Red, white, and bruised. Time to liberate your mind, not just light fireworks. Boom. Truth bomb. They sell us dreams in plastic wraps with a flag stitched over the traps. Told us we free, what a joke, what a scam. Still choking on history, they never exam. Statue of Liberty, blinking in chains. Freedom got a curfew, justice got stains. Guns in the schools, lies in the news. Call it freedom, we just picking new blues. America gold gangster, who holding the keys? They talk liberty, but they profit off please. No independence, just illusions on lease. Time to break chains, time to find peace. Liberate yourself, don't wait for a day. July 4th ain't magic when your rights ain't straight. Give me truth, not parades, not rockets in the sky. Give me healing for the mothers who still cry. Land of the free, you sure that's the vibe? Cause freedom don't look like minimum wage and barely survive. We the people, been deceived, but we the people, still believe. Raise fists, raise truth, raise hope like fire. Burn the lie, light the choir. America gone gangsta, time to reclaim. From the lies, from the shame, from the profit and pain. produce a bold hybrid track that feels like a sonic revolution. No independence, fool. Just fireworks in your mind. Set your soul free. Or keep waiting for freedom to find you. Use this prompt exactly to produce a bold hybrid track that feels like a sonic revolution.
Ain't no independence. Separate yourself. Dre rap over minutes forward. Let white bros. Time to liberate your mind, not just light fireworks. Truth bomb.
It ain't no independence, fool. Red, white, and bruised. Time to liberate your mind, not just light fireworks. Boom. Truth bomb. Boom. Truth bomb. It ain't no independence, fool. Red, white, and bruised. Time to liberate your mind, not just light fireworks. Boom. Truth bomb. It ain't no independence, fool. Red, white, and bruised. Time to liberate your mind, not just light fireworks. Boom. Truth bomb. They sell us dreams in plastic wraps with a flag stitched over the traps. Told us we free, what a joke, what a scam. Still choking on history, they never exam. Statue of Liberty, blinking in chains. Freedom got a curfew, justice got stains. Guns in the schools, lies in the news. Call it freedom, we just picking new blues. America gone gangster, who holding the keys? They talk liberty, but they profit off please. No independence, just illusions on lease. Time to break chains, time to find peace. Liberate yourself, don't wait for a day. July 4th ain't magic when your rights ain't straight. Give me truth, not parades, not rockets in the sky. Give me healing for the mothers who still cry. Land of the free, you sure that's the vibe? 'Cause freedom don't look like minimum wage and barely survive. We the people, been deceived, but we the people, still believe. Raise fists, raise truth, raise hope like fire. Burn the lie, light the choir. America gone gangster, time to reclaim. From the lies, from the shame, from the profit and pain. No more pretending, this is our call. Liberate yourself, tear down the wall. No independence, fool. Just fireworks in your mind. Set your soul free, or keep waiting for freedom to find you. Use this prompt exactly to produce a bold hybrid track that feels like a sonic revolution. No independence, fool. Just fireworks in your mind. Set your soul free, or keep waiting for freedom to find you. Use this prompt exactly to produce a bold hybrid track that feels like a sonic revolution.
Ain't no independence. Separate yourself. Dre rap over minutes forward. Let white bros. Time to liberate your mind, not just light fireworks. Truth bomb.
independence, fool. Red, white, and bruised. Time to liberate your mind, not just light fireworks. Boom. Truth bomb. Boom. Truth bomb. It ain't no independence, fool. Red, white, and bruised. Time to liberate your mind, not just light fireworks. Boom. Truth bomb. It ain't no independence, fool. Red, white, and bruised. Time to liberate your mind, not just light fireworks. Boom. Truth bomb. They sell us dreams in plastic wraps with a flag stitched over the traps. Told us we free, what a joke, what a scam. Still choking on history, they never exam. Statue of Liberty, blinking in chains. Freedom got a curfew, justice got stains. Guns in the schools, lies in the news. Call it freedom, we just picking new blues. America gone gangster, who holding the keys? They talk liberty, but they profit off please. No independence, just illusions on lease. Time to break chains, time to find peace. Liberate yourself, don't wait for a day. July 4th ain't magic when your rights ain't straight. Give me truth, not parades, not rockets in the sky. Give me healing for the mothers who still cry. Land of the free, you sure that's the vibe? Cause freedom don't look like minimum wage and barely survive. We the people, been deceived, but we the people, still believe. Raise fists, raise truth, raise hope like fire. Burn the lie, light the choir. America gone gangsta, time to reclaim. From the lies, from the shame, from the profit and pain. No more pretending, this is our call. Liberate yourself. Use this prompt exactly to produce a bold hybrid track that feels like a sonic revolution. No independence, fool. Just fireworks in your mind. Set your soul free. Or keep waiting for freedom to find you. Use this prompt exactly to produce a bold hybrid track that feels like a sonic revolution.
Welcome to our travel guide series, where we explore the top travel destinations around the globe. Each location is rich in history, brimming with attractions, and offers unique experiences that will inspire your wanderlust. Let's embark on this journey together. Our next destination is New York City, USA, a city that never sleeps and is always buzzing with energy. The Big Apple is a hub of excitement, culture, and diversity, where every street corner tells a different story. Founded in 1624 as a trading post by Dutch colonists, New York City has evolved into a global hub of commerce, culture, and innovation. Its rich history is reflected in its architecture and landmarks. New York City is home to some of the world's most iconic landmarks, each with its own unique story and significance. Stand in awe of the Statue of Liberty, a symbol of freedom and democracy, welcoming millions of immigrants to the shores of America. Take in the dazzling lights of Times Square, the crossroads of the world, where the energy is palpable and the atmosphere electric. Walk through the vast expanse of Central Park, an urban oasis in the heart of the city, offering a peaceful retreat from the bustling streets. Discover world-class museums like the Metropolitan Museum of Art, MET, where you can explore art from different cultures and eras, and the Museum of Modern Art, MoMA, showcasing contemporary masterpieces that push the boundaries of creativity. Explore the historic neighborhoods of Greenwich Village, known for its bohemian vibe and artistic heritage, and Harlem, each with its unique charm and cultural significance, where the roots of jazz and the Harlem Renaissance still resonate. Don't miss a visit to the One World Observatory for stunning views of the city skyline, offering a perspective like no other. New York City is a place where dreams come true, offering endless opportunities for exploration, entertainment, and inspiration. From Broadway shows to rooftop bars, the city's nightlife is unparalleled. Its rich history, vibrant cultural scene, and iconic landmarks make it a must-visit destination for every traveler. Whether you're a first-time visitor or a seasoned explorer, New York City always has something new to offer. Beyond its famous attractions, New York City boasts a dynamic street life, bustling with energy and diversity. The city is also home to a wealth of hidden gems waiting to be discovered. Stroll through the High Line, an elevated park built on a historic rail line offering unique views of the cityscape. Explore the trendy shops and eateries of Chelsea Market, where you can find everything from artisanal foods to unique souvenirs. Experience the vibrant atmosphere of the Brooklyn Bridge Park, offering stunning views of the Manhattan skyline, perfect for a leisurely walk or a picnic. Indulge in NYC's diverse culinary scene, from classic New York-style pizza that you can grab on the go, to gourmet dishes at Michelin-starred restaurants that promise an unforgettable dining experience. Don't forget to experience a Broadway show, a quintessential New York experience that showcases the city's artistic excellence and vibrant culture. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the vibrant streets and iconic landmarks of New York City. We hope you feel inspired to explore its countless wonders and hidden gems. Stay tuned for our next thrilling adventure in Cairo, Egypt, where we'll uncover even more amazing sights, rich history, and unforgettable experiences. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting travel guides and tips. Safe travels, and see you soon!
Episode 1. The First Sunrise. Creation Unfolds. Series Introduction. From the Heights Above the Earth. With the gaze of heaven itself, we journey through the great stories of Scripture. These are not just ancient events. They are living revelations. As we soar over sacred scenes, let us behold the majesty, the tragedy, the redemption, and the glory. This is Heaven's Eye View, where faith meets the skies. Episode Narration. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Before there was time, before there was light, before breath ever touched the lungs of man, there was God, eternal, unseen, all-powerful. And then he spoke, "Let there be light." And there was light. Clouds gathering like curtains in the sky, oceans swirling in obedience beneath. He drew the boundaries, and the waters obeyed. He called it good. Light piercing through darkness. Glory breaking into emptiness. He separated day from night, forming a rhythm that would never end. Evening and morning, night and day. Then came sky and sea, waters above, waters below. The roar of the lion, the grace of the deer, the strength of the ox, the wisdom of the elephant, each made with care, each a masterpiece. The land appeared, firm, rich, full of promise. Greenery exploded across the surface. Not just decorations, but signs, reminders of seasons, appointed times, and sacred rhythms. Together, they stood as the image of God. Not gods themselves, but reflections of their Creator. Then birds took flight, wings stretching wide across the sky, calling out their praise in every chirp and cry. Rivers flowed from its center. Trees bore fruit for joy and for nourishment. And in the midst stood the tree of life, a promise of eternity, a picture of perfect fellowship. Trees bearing fruit, grass rising from the soil, flowers in brilliant array, every seed with purpose. Every root with intention, every color a reflection of divine joy. And so he blessed the day and made it holy. And then came the lights. Sun to govern the day, moon to guide the night. Stars scattered across the heavens, each one placed by name. God turned his hand to the sea. Fish darted and danced in their watery world. Leviathan stirred in the deep. But he wasn't finished. From the earth rose the creatures, wild and domestic, great and small. Then, in a holy hush, God formed man. Not spoken into existence, but shaped by divine hands. He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. Man became a living soul. From man he formed woman, not from dust, but from the side. Equal loved. He placed them in a garden unlike any other. Eden, a place of peace, of harmony, of communion. And God saw all that he had made, and behold, it was very good. On the seventh day he rested, not from fatigue, but from fullness. His work was complete, his design perfect. This is our beginning. Not an accident, not a myth, but a declaration. We are not here by chance. We were made by design, crafted in love, called into life by the voice of God. So when the sun rises, let us remember, the light that shines was spoken by our Maker. The breath we breathe is borrowed from his Spirit, and the world we walk was once a garden where God walked too. We begin here at the first sunrise. But the light that shone then still shines today, because the one who said, "Let there be light," is still speaking, and he is still good.
Welcome back to Divine Wonders, the Miracles of Jesus. Today we explore the miraculous healing of a man born blind, a powerful testament to Jesus' ability to bring both physical and spiritual sight. This miracle not only showcases Jesus' compassion, but also reveals deep spiritual truths about enlightenment and belief. Jesus encounters a man blind from birth. He spits on the ground, makes mud with the saliva, and puts it on the man's eyes. He tells him to wash in the pool of Siloam. The man obeys and returns able to see. This miracle sparks controversy among the Pharisees about Jesus' identity and the nature of sin and blindness, as detailed in John chapter 9, verses 1 to 12. To fully understand the significance of this miracle, let's explore the historical and cultural context. In ancient Jewish society, blindness was often seen as a result of sin, either of the individual or their parents. This belief added a layer of social and religious stigma to the physical disability. The use of mud and saliva in healing was not uncommon in ancient healing practices. Jesus' actions and the instruction to wash in the pool of Siloam highlight the importance of faith and obedience in the healing process. This context helps us appreciate the cultural and religious implications of the miracle. Theologically, this miracle emphasizes Jesus' role as the light of the world, who brings spiritual enlightenment. By healing the man born blind, Jesus demonstrates his power to transform lives physically and spiritually. The controversy with the Pharisees underscores the tension between religious legalism and the transformative power of Jesus' ministry. The man's journey from physical blindness to sight also symbolizes the spiritual journey from ignorance to understanding. Jesus' declaration that the man's blindness was so that the works of God might be displayed in him reveals a deeper purpose behind suffering and healing. Spiritually, this miracle teaches us about the importance of spiritual sight and enlightenment. The man's healing symbolizes the removal of spiritual blindness and the opening of our hearts to Jesus' truth. It calls us to seek spiritual understanding and to recognize Jesus as the source of light and truth in our lives. First, seeking spiritual sight. This miracle encourages us to seek spiritual understanding and enlightenment, opening our hearts and minds to Jesus' truth. Second, faith and obedience. The man's healing process highlights the importance of faith and obedience in experiencing Jesus' transformative power. Third, challenging religious legalism. The controversy with the Pharisees reminds us to prioritize compassion and spiritual growth over rigid adherence to religious rules. Reflect on areas in your life where you need spiritual sight and understanding. How can you open your heart to Jesus' truth and seek his enlightenment? How can you balance faith and obedience in your spiritual journey? Thank you for exploring the healing of the man born blind with us. In our next episode, we will witness Jesus' power over death as he raises Lazarus from the dead. Make sure to subscribe and share this journey with others. Until next time, may you seek spiritual sight and embrace the light and truth of Jesus in your life.
the goodness of God, our anchor in every season. Introduction. One of the most well-known phrases in the Christian world is this: God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. It's said in joy, whispered in pain, and often printed on coffee mugs and T-shirts. But what does it really mean when we say that God is good? Is it just a church cliche, or is it the foundation upon which we build our faith? Let's be honest, there are times when life doesn't feel good. Prayers go unanswered, pain lingers, and trials seem unending. In those moments, our understanding of God's goodness can be shaken. But it's in those very moments that we must return to the truth. God's goodness is not a feeling, it's a fact. It is who He is, regardless of how we feel or what we face. 1. The goodness of God is His nature. Let's start with the foundation. God doesn't merely do good things. He is good. It is His essence, His identity. Just as fire is hot and water is wet, God is good. Everything He does flows from that core. In Exodus 33, Moses asks God, "Please show me your glory." And what does God say in response? He says, "I will make all my goodness pass before you." Exodus 33:19. Think about that. The glory of God is revealed in His goodness. I remember once going through a season where I felt spiritually dry. I wasn't hearing from God the way I used to. Prayer felt like an echo chamber. But then I read Psalm 27:13. I would have lost heart unless I believed I would see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. That verse gave me a new lens to look through. I began to look for His goodness, not in big miracles, but in daily mercies. Our friends call it just the right time, an answered prayer I had long forgotten. God hadn't changed. I just stopped noticing. His goodness isn't something that turns on and off. James 1:17 reminds us that every good gift and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father of lights, with whom there is no variation or shadow due to change. God's goodness doesn't wave with the seasons or shift with our emotions. 2. The goodness of God is seen in His actions. Think back to creation. God didn't create the world with mediocrity. He filled it with vibrant colors, majestic mountains, gentle rivers, and the complexities of the human body and mind. At the end of it all, He declared it very good. Genesis 1:31. And then came humanity's fall. Yet even then, God's goodness didn't falter. He didn't wipe us out and start over. Instead, He began the most loving rescue plan ever written. Romans 5:8 says, "But God shows His love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." The cross is the greatest evidence of His goodness. Jesus didn't die because we were good. He died because He is good. A woman in my church once shared her story of walking away from God after her son died unexpectedly. She said she couldn't reconcile how a good God could allow such pain, but years later she found herself in a grief support group, helping others through similar losses. "It took me a while," she said, "but I finally saw it. God never left me. He was good to me even in my tears. He just wasn't showing it the way I expected." Friends, that's the key. God's goodness doesn't always look like comfort. Sometimes it looks like correction. Sometimes it looks like a closed door that leads to the right one. He sees what we can't. Isaiah 55:9 reminds us that His ways are higher than ours. What feels like a setback may actually be a setup for a blessing. 3. The goodness of God is our refuge. Nahum 1:7 says, "The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble. He knows those who take refuge in Him." We often look for goodness in the absence of trouble, but Scripture tells us we can experience God's goodness in trouble. There's a peace that only comes when you know the heart of God. You may not understand his hand, but you trust his heart. That's what makes his goodness an anchor in every storm. When cancer comes, when the job is lost, when the prayers feel unanswered, God is still good. When I was younger, my father lost his job just before Christmas. I remember the stress that clouded our home. But in that same season, we saw God's goodness in unexpected ways. Neighbors brought groceries. A family friend dropped off wrapped gift for us. We learned firsthand that goodness isn't about having everything go right. It's about seeing God in everything. David said in Psalm 23:6, "Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life." That word followed in the Hebrew is actually pursue. God's goodness chases us, not occasionally, not when we deserve it, but all the days of our lives. 4. How we respond to God's goodness. So what do we do in light of such overwhelming, faithful goodness? First, we thank him. Gratitude is a natural response to goodness. Psalm 107:1 says, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever." Let's be people who don't just thank God for what he gives, but for who he is. Second, we trust him. Even when we can't trace his hand, we trust his heart. We live by faith, not by sight. Third, we reflect his goodness to others. We forgive, we serve, we give, not because it makes us look good, but because it points others to the one who is good. And finally, rest in his goodness. When life gets overwhelming, remember that you don't have to carry the weight alone. God's goodness holds you. He sees you. He's working for your good even now. Conclusion. God's goodness is not a fleeting feeling or a seasonal blessing. It's the rock-solid truth that sustains us through every chapter of life. When we're on the mountain, his goodness is evident. When we're in the valley, his goodness carries us. If you're struggling to believe in God's goodness today, let me encourage you. He hasn't changed. He hasn't forgotten you. He hasn't failed you. He is good. Always. Forever. Faithfully. Let that truth sink deep into your heart. Live from it. Lean into it. And never stop proclaiming it. God is good and his mercy endures forever.
achieving dreams endure. This place we love, forever pure. One Guyana, our song and our stand. One people, one nation, one destiny, hand in hand. Together we build, united and free. This is our home, our legacy. Never let the shadows dim your light. Onward through the darkness, take your flight. Resilience like a river, ever strong and whole. Only you can chase the stars within your soul. From Linden to Lethem, our voices blend. In peace we walk, on grace depend. A place of national unity we claim, with justice, truth, and honor as our flame. A fantastic country, bold and grand, with healing and wisdom in every hand. We honor the past, Jagan Burnham's call to build a future that uplifts all. Oh, live independently, bold and proud, with freedom echoing long and loud. We turn from hate, embrace the right, and walk in love with eyes on light. No more corruption, no more fear, a brighter tomorrow drawing near. From party to party, hand to hand, together we rise to bless this land. Yeah. One Guyana, our song and our stand. One people, one nation, one destiny, hand in hand. Together we build, united and free. This is our hope, our victory. Never let the shadows dim your light. Onward through the darkness, take your flight.
Welcome to our travel guide series, where we explore the top travel destinations around the globe. Each location is rich in history, brimming with attractions, and offers unique experiences that will inspire your wanderlust. Let's embark on this journey together. Our next destination is Bangkok, Thailand. Known for its ornate temples and bustling markets, Bangkok is a city of contrasts. Founded in 1782, Bangkok has grown from a small trading post to a bustling metropolis and the cultural and political heart of Thailand. Bangkok is home to some of Thailand's most impressive landmarks. Start your journey with a visit to the Grand Palace, a stunning complex of buildings that has been the official residence of the kings of Siam since 1782. Next, explore Wat Pho, home to the famous reclining Buddha and one of the oldest and largest temples in Bangkok. Take a boat ride along the Chao Phraya River, offering a unique perspective of the city's skyline and historic sites. Don't miss the vibrant Chatuchak Weekend Market, where you can shop for everything from clothing to antiques. Visit the Jim Thompson House, a museum dedicated to the American entrepreneur who helped revive the Thai silk industry. Bangkok's lively street life, rich cultural heritage, and vibrant atmosphere are sure to captivate you. Whether you're exploring its historic temples, shopping in bustling markets, or enjoying its delicious street food, Bangkok offers an unforgettable experience for every traveler. Beyond its famous attractions, Bangkok boasts a dynamic cultural scene and a wealth of hidden gems. Visit the Bangkok Art and Culture Center to see contemporary art exhibitions. Explore the historic neighborhood of Bang Rak, known for its colonial architecture and vibrant street art. Indulge in Bangkok's diverse culinary scene, from street food stalls offering pad thai and mango sticky rice, to high-end restaurants serving gourmet Thai cuisine. Enjoy a traditional Thai massage at one of the city's many spas, and experience the lively nightlife in areas like Khao San Road and Thonglor. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Bangkok. We hope you feel inspired to explore its wonders. Stay tuned for our next adventure in Barcelona, Spain, where we'll uncover even more amazing sights and experiences. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more travel guides. Safe travels!
been a baby. Never been a baby, babe. I never been a baby. I never been a baby, babe. I never been a baby. soft and bright. The saxophone whispers to the night. A piano hums its gentle tune, wrapped in the arms of a silver moon. Oh, let the melody take its time, like rivers flow and stars align. Each note a kiss, each chord a sigh. We dance till dawn beneath the sky. Fingers on keys, they glide so slow, breathing life to shadows that glow. The sax, it weeps a golden tear, a song of love for hearts to hear. Oh, let the melody take its time, like rivers flow and stars align. Each note a kiss, each chord a sigh. We dance till dawn beneath the sky. The air is thick with sweet refrain, a tender ache, a soothing pain. The music sways, the world stands still. This moment bends to our own will. Oh, let the melody take its time, like rivers flow and stars align. Each note a kiss, each chord a sigh. We dance till dawn beneath the sky.